So I make YouTube videos, in case you didn't know. Now before we jump in, I do want to mention that I am a partner of Elgato Gaming since this year, but I have used Elgato products for the past 5+ years now to create my content, and that's why I think I'm in a really good position to really talk about everything I do. I may notice in this corner, we have the brand new 4K 60S Plus. Bit of a mouthful of a name, but quite frankly, this is, in my opinion, the only capture product you'll need for the next 10 years. So I thought we'd start off with a quick little unboxing, which, as per usual, I don't have anything. I'm prepared, kind of. I'd like to say I'm pretty experienced about this kind of stuff. As I say, in terms of anything to do with these types of products, because I am a sucker for them. I'm actually just going to show you. Key light. This video camera I'm using right here, the Camlink 4K, and this camera, which is my main camera, we're also using a Camlink. Here's one Stream Deck, and here's another Stream Deck. Basically, I have a decent amount of Elgato products, and to be honest, every single one of them, but the 4K capture device in my PC, and this one they just sent me, I have purchased all of them myself. So, in the 4K 60S Plus box, we get the device itself, which it is a bit of a chunky boy, to say the least, compared to some of the other devices, but it is made of nice metal-like materials. It is metal. And we have a bunch of, I assume these are going to be the power, yes, 3 cables. We've got USB-C to A, USB-C to A again, and also a HDMI cable, which you can never have enough of. So the idea of this is to tell you why this capture card is possibly one of the best purchases you can go for right now if you're looking to start to get into, I say start. My first point about this is the price. It is almost £400 from what I've found, and let's be real, if you're getting started in anything, I would say £400 is quite a stretch. Now, there are other Elgato devices out there, for example, the HD60, HD60 Plus S, a bunch of different devices that are much more affordable, and I would actually suggest getting over this if you're beginning. Now, I'd say it's a little bit of a different story if you're actually making content on a regular basis, or you really want to do this, or you've got a sum of money and you're like, right, I need some devices. The difference between this device and a bunch of others is that you're going to be recording in 4K 60 FPS with HDR support, so that means it's very future-proof. So if you buy this now, as I said, for the next 10 years, I'm talking about the next console generation, this is going to work for you hugely, considering the fact that it supports the resolution that most games are going to be aiming to record at. Now, of course, if you want to record in 1080 or 1440, it is possible. So it's useful for PC guys too. Now, one of the things that Elgato mentions on their adverts is that this device will actually record up to 7 hours of 4K HDR footage on a 256 meg memory card, which isn't going to focus. Love cameras. Technology. The thing that makes this different to every other capture device is that you can plug in a memory card. Oh, I love the I love the clicks. When you put a memory card into a device and it clicks. Okay. This is useful for me for many different reasons. Events, going to friends, or capturing when I have the rest of my equipment off, which is something I want to be able to do, and now I can. Normally, when you're actually filming stuff like I do on a regular basis, you are limited to having, well, you need your PC on if you've got your pass-through and you don't want to mess around with HDMI cables all the time. This device is going to allow us to film without any computer there. Now, this is huge for people like me, because I have gone through, I cannot tell you, I hate laptops. Absolutely hate them. Just a quick tip for you, no Windows laptop, unless you're plugged in all the time, is good for events or the like. If, like me, you've purchased many laptops looking for the best laptop to use unplugged at events and the like, well, you're in a bit of trouble. That's where this device, for me, I am grateful for, because now all I need to do to go to an event is take that one device. If I want to take a device to check over my footage once it's recorded, bang, bring out a Surface, bring out something small, light. You can definitely look back on footage on an iPad or the like. Now, something else that makes this quite a lot different to other Elgato capture devices, that the actual encoder itself, to encode your footage, to make it as small and efficient as possible, is on the device itself. What's even cooler is it's a HEVC encoder, which essentially means it's H.265 encoding, which means it's super efficient in terms of compacting your file sizes. For example, it's roughly about 30% more efficient than H.264, which is generally the current standard. And if you're like, what on earth is he talking about? I'm talking about smaller file sizes, the same quality, longer recording times, which is why you can plug in a handy dandy memory card. Now, the quality of the footage, it's, as you've been seeing throughout this video, amazing. And I don't generally record at 4K 60, and there's reason to me. I've uploaded 4K content before in the past, and the issue is it takes a long time. And it's not just a long time in terms of editing, in terms of recording, the file sizes and crashes of programs and the like. I have a pretty beefy rig now. This rig will edit that 4K HDR content. The issue is that not many people even watch it in 4K. The people that do watch it in 4K, some phones even, I imagine, will have the option to watch in 4K. The issue comes in that their internet is not good enough, or some people will be watching 4K, it'll lag the poo out of their computer, and they'll be wondering why the video is laggy and the PC's running like... It's very much a future-proof thing. I would definitely record in 4K nowadays, but I'm not sure I would post in 4K as of yet. Once we actually get to the stages of next generation, when the games hopefully will be 4K, this device is going to be future-proof and perfect for what we're going to want to do. Now, on the device itself, we've got HDMI in, HDMI out, so we've got power and USB. On the front of the device, we have an on button, an SD card slot, and an audio in, so you can use your general 3.5mm headphone jack, or microphone jack, should I say, in where you can plug your mic in and have all of that information, all the recording of the audio and the video on this one device. Of course, if you're going to use a webcam or something, which is what a lot of people do, you would then have to use that. So in terms of actually recording your setup, if you're using webcam, facecam, you're going to need a PC as well. Or at least if you have, for example, just a Surface or something like a cheaper laptop, you then take all the strain of the processing of the video files in live time to this device. You can record it straight to this device, perfect, and then use your laptop to film your webcam. Great. Here's one thing: you do need to go into the files and configure some other things. So once you put a memory card in there, you can go in, there's a configuration file where you can actually adjust some of the settings to do with the capture of this device. Now, by default, it's recording and processing in MP4, which is great as a great standard. But the issue is, if you have an issue, for example, the power gets taken out, the memory card gets removed, something like that, that footage is gone. Because that footage needs to, once it's complete and you've turned the stop recording button, that file needs to be finalized. It needs to be finished. But thankfully, there is a way in the setting to change it to a format that is more commonly used. And this format essentially means that when we lose power or something, I use it for my own stuff as well at home for OBS and the like. Once you actually lose power and you have an issue or your computer freezes or something like that, that footage is then safe. You can even configure bit rates and audio options. The bitrate settings, obviously, what I'm using right here. I would suggest these for most people. It depends on your memory card speed. Of course, there's no limit, I imagine, to what bitrate you can set. You can set as high as you want, but the higher you have it, the more file space it's going to take, the less time footage you can actually have. Now, the memory card capacity on this device, if you want to put in the biggest, best memory card ever, you can, I imagine, do a 2 terabyte SD card if you want to. They're available. They are quite expensive, but considering you just spent £400 on this device, I would say you're pretty balling. So, because I don't want to make this video massively long, because I'm a techie, okay? I love technology. When I first started YouTube especially, like, the first thing I put money into was my setup, because number one, I loved putting money into my setup in that I can play better games, play them better, and so on. But I have come from very little. And having ease of use nowadays is my top priority. And this device makes life easier. In consoles today, you can capture stuff and you can go back on your recordings and the like. But to me, you can't beat this. If you want quality recordings, future quality recordings, future-proof, you can't really beat an actual dedicated device for this. And that's why, to me, this is going to be used for going to events and taking us now a very light portable device to watch over my footage, just to make sure, which I'm pretty confident in the fact that this device is going to let me know if it's recording or not. Obviously, it'll shut off if it's actually physically stopping recording and the like. It all comes down to one summary though. So I love you know, giving this information out, talking nerdy with people, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video so far. Another issue with this device is, let's look at it realistically, okay? We have a very powerful capture device in our hands that makes recording super easy. You don't even need a computer anymore to capture footage. Fantastic. But then you've got the more difficult part of video editing. Yeah. Now, just to let you know, one of the best devices to edit H.265 footage is actually an Apple device or an iPad. So that's pretty cool. You can completely make content now without it. You can even film the video, your face cam, on the iPad. That's brilliant. Making it super easy for people to get into content creation. But of course, the steep price, which will hopefully come down with time. But for now, this is a brilliant step. I'm going to be using it. There's a link down below if you want to check it out yourself. I use Elgato products every day because I need to for content creation. It makes my life so much easier. I honestly love talking about my setup. So if you want to see more videos talking about my setup throughout the days and weeks and months of this, forever, of this YouTube channel, I'm going to say it's not got a time limit, let me know, because again, I love talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. Hopefully you did enjoy. Be sure to smash this like button, subscribe if you are new, and just a little heads up, all footage in this video was captured using this device, except this camera, which is using an Elgato Cam Link, and the other one was a Cam Link 4K. Alright, until next time, peace.